Will, do it with me. Throw it up. What should they do with your boy?
I just did the X. Now I'm going to tell you this.
Traitor. Two-faced.
Well, also reality-based. And the bottom line is this. The Cowboys have to ask Dez Bryant to take a pay cut, move his salary down to half, ask the other half to be made up in incentives, or let him go. I'm generally not a believer that compromise is a way that you're going to go forward in life and get real things done, because what you normally do is you are ignoring the obvious. Asking people to take pay cuts is just basically asking them to quit. It's basically a virtual cutting of them. But because Dez Bryant has a relationship with Jerry, because I think he's proud to be a Dallas Cowboy, there is some hope that kind of compromise could work for Dez and the team. The bottom line is the Dallas Cowboys spend the third most of all NFL teams on their wide receiver group, and it's their worst position group on the team. They're getting very little production out of not just Dez, but Cole Beasley and Terrence Williams as well, at least over the last year. It can't stay that way. You can't pay a guy $16.5 million and get 800 yards receiving out of him. It's just, how do you improve your team? How do you improve that position group with that much money tied up in that little production? My hope is Dez realizes two things. I really want to be a Dallas Cowboy. I have an honest and open relationship with Jerry. And number two, I'm not going to get that $16 million in cap, $12 million in real cash back on the open market. So I might as well take the pay cut with Jerry to remain with the star on my helmet. I don't know that he'll do that. It may come off as an insult, and it may be pushing us towards the obvious, which is a breakup at some point. But try the half step first. See if this relationship can get along for another year at a more palatable contract for both sides.
I completely agree with you. I think you're 100% on the money. Dez Bryant ain't worth $16 million a year. He ain't worth $14 million a year right now. He can't go vertical. He can't get separation from receivers. Clearly, defenders don't respect him the way that they used to. He's not a scrub. He can still ball, but he's not that elite receiver anymore. If Dez Bryant had a case to make on his own behalf, he could make the argument, it would be a dicey one, but he could make the argument that, look, this ain't Tony Romo throwing me the football anymore. It's it's Dak Prescott, and Dak Prescott may not be that dude throwing the football that Tony once was. He could make that argument, and it might be worthy of a discussion. But ultimately, what it comes down to is an absence of production. And it's not totally his fault. You're not getting production from the number two. Witten has lost a step, okay? And again, Dak Prescott being in there without Ezekiel Elliott definitely compromised their efficiency as well. But in the end, it is a business. And I would ask him to take a pay cut. And I'm not of the mindset, Will, that if you ask somebody to take a pay cut, that it automatically means that you're firing them. Listen, we're in the world of business. Business is about productivity. And if somebody can literally show you that your productivity isn't what it once was, then you do have the right to sit up there and entertain that possibility of taking a pay cut before you're pushed out the door. You might be humble enough as a human being to recognize, guess what? I didn't do what I was paid to do. I didn't do what I'm accustomed to doing. And because of that, I might need to scale my salary back just a little bit here and make that kind of concession. There are people who are grown up enough to do that. I would give Dez Bryant an opportunity to do that. But if he holds true to his position, that he ain't taking a damn pay cut by any stretch of the imagination, I would cut him because he's not worth $16 million a year right now. Not when Antonio Brown is getting paid $17 million. Antonio Brown is worlds apart from Dez Bryant at this particular moment in time in their career. But I hope Dez Bryant doesn't get cut because I like him.
I think even at Dez Bryant's best, people used to think I was just, being a Giants fan saying he's not on Odell's level. I never thought Dez was quite. I thought he was an A, not an A+. I never thought he was Antonio Brown or Julio Jones or Odell Beckham Jr. I thought he was a half notch below that, but he was a terrific player, a spectacular player. He's not the player he once was, and that predates Dak Prescott. That was with Tony Romo. He wasn't quite the player. He was in kind of steady decline. But Will, I disagree with you that in life, compromise, in this case at least, is a bad idea because, asking the guy to take a pay cut is tantamount to cutting him. You're going your separate ways because his market value will be what it is, and it won't be $16.5 million. So if he's going to cost him $8.9 million anyway of dead money, he's going to get paid. He's going to make a fat paycheck. But he has to be paid what he's worth because, and so that if that means he walks, he walks. Because in a hard cap league, GMing, more than anything else, is about properly valuing commodities, players, draft picks, etc. What price tag do you put in resource, in treasure on that guy, on that draft pick? The reason Bill Belichick is the best GM in football is because he is the best at that. Doesn't overpay guys, knows how to maneuver draft picks, knows how to properly price commodities. And right now,
Josh
Dez
McDaniels
Bryant
will
is an
know too.
overpaid commodity.